If indeed this is the altar, perhaps where Pocahontas was married, there is so much I wonder about her. I wonder if that day she chose to dress in her Powhatan attire, her native Indian dress, or if she perhaps incorporated some English customs. I don't know if she put flowers in her hair or what kind of songs might have been sung. But historical fact will record that there was a wedding and a union of Pocahontas, the daughter of Powhatan, and John Rolfe, an English settler. And that would attempt to pull these two worlds together in the most remarkable of ways. All right, I do hope you enjoyed that. It was truly a cool thing for me to be there, again, because I do like her story. And it's pretty exhilarating to be there at that place. Now, if we're to get back to our story, Pocahontas had to know that in marrying John Rolfe, that her children would be half white, and so she was going to open herself up to a new world, literally. You know, after their son Thomas was born, who was given a Christian name, not an Indian name, John Rolfe decided to take his family home to England. Now, Chief Powhatan considered it a perfect opportunity to send some of his warriors to England as spies or as counselors or as advisors, and so 12 of his men would go with Pocahontas. And in England, it appeared that Pocahontas lived well. We have this very famous picture of her dressed like the English, wearing that ruffly collar thing. I really wonder what she thought of that. And we know that she was invited to social events and to a meeting with the king. And of course, this was great public relations for the settlers who wanted continued support from King James. I guess they thought that bringing home a Christian convert was sure to make the new world sound more appealing and just like this is a good thing. Well, a very quick side story about John Smith. Now, back in Jamestown, if you remember, Pocahontas was told that John Smith died. But yet, when she was back in England, she would bump into him on the streets. That's because he actually returned to England after that gunpowder wound. So supposedly they meet on the street, and I just wonder, what do you say to someone who you thought was dead? This had to have been a terribly awkward moment in both of their lives. Well, moving on, this story should have a happy ending, but you know it doesn't. It is a tragedy. And before boarding a ship to sail home to America, Pocahontas will become ill, deathly ill in England. She will die at age 21 or age 22, and she is buried in England. Now, Native Americans today will insist that she was poisoned, that she didn't just die from illness, but that she was poisoned. It's actually written here. Right on this third paragraph, it says poisoned on March 21st, 1617, before returning to the Americas. All right, many assume that maybe she just knew too much about the English and that then they were threatened at any report that she might give back home. We honestly don't know, but one reason this may not be true is that, remember, there were 12 warriors who accompanied her. So what became of them? Now, they would have learned the same things she did about England. So if they didn't all mysteriously die or disappear, then why would the English just single out a young mother for assassination? It is a mystery. Regardless, John Rolfe and Thomas would make the trip back to America, and they would live most of their lives there. Now, I think this is fascinating, but definitely folks here in North America have traced hundreds of their descendants back to Pocahontas and John Rolfe. You can find them right here. Here's John Rolfe and here's Pocahontas. So there's a family tree with many of their descendants here. As our usual practice, I'm going to put the pretest up on the screen, and so mentally answer these questions in your mind. Don't forget it gives you work points to work on the pretest ahead of time. So this is for looking ahead to week 20. And our first question, what was the Peace of Westphalia? And the answer is a treaty. That would be the name of a treaty that will help end the 30 Years' War. We have another war to cover. And last, number 9, who was Squanto? And the correct answer, Tisquantum, was his full name. I'm glad you could make it to this class session. I hope you keep reading and studying hard. And self-paced students, I'm going to say goodbye for now. I'll see you next time. Live students, stay on the line. I have just a little more for you. Thanks.